Hello, my name is Ernesto Gonzalez. Welcome to another listening of The Travel Helper. Today's theme is going to circle around airports, airport safety, airplanes, that sort of thing. And let's actually start with airports. Everybody knows that the U.S. has the largest international airport in the world. It's actually in Atlanta, Georgia. Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, over 100 million passengers a year, has 151 domestic and 28 international gates. That's insane. LAX is another one, another big one. I believe China has the second largest in the world. But overall, when you consider the fastest form of travel today, it's flying. When you look up in the sky, you see stars, you see airplanes. And that leads me to my second point. Yeah, flying is fast. Yeah, it takes 5-6 hours from LA to New York, but there's still a handful of people out there who will never a day in their life get on an airplane. Why? It's just a fear. You have a 1 in 11 million chance of dying in a plane crash in a given year. You have a 1 in 10 million chance of becoming president of the United States. You have a 1 in 5,000 chance of dying in a car crash any given year. You have a 1 in 465 chance to having your ID stolen, and you have a 1 in 3 chance of living to 100 years old. So what is safe? And I don't mean to scare people by saying, hey, you have a 1 in 11 million chance in dying in a plane crash any given year. I don't mean to sound like that. But the main thing here is that this is 2018. Boeing, Northrop Grumman, JPL, all these companies are so advanced nowadays. Just the whole idea of dying in a plane crash is almost disappearing. They happen, and it sucks when they do. Pray for those people on board, their families, autopilots, pilots, flight attendants, everyone. But they happen so rare, it shouldn't be a fear. Keeping this topic on safety and going back to the old topic, airports. Let's merge the two together, airport safety. TSA, security screening, we all know what goes on. Most of us have traveled, have gone through a TSA agent at some point in our lives. Some would argue TSA agents don't do their job how they should consistently, and that's a fair point. We can get to that a little bit later, but for now, let's welcome in Ariel Morales. She's a traveler, and she's actually going to talk a little bit about an instance that she had with a TSA agent at San Jose International Airport back in 2016. Ariel, go ahead.
Hi, Ernie. Thank you for having me here again and share my experience with you about what happened 2 years ago. I was traveling to El Salvador. I was excited. My little nephew was turning 2 years at the time, and I got for him a little kit of Play-Doh, and I just put it inside my suitcase. I went through for immigration, all my check-in, everything was good. But at that moment, I don't know what happened. I was putting my shoes, I was tying my shoes again, grabbing my stuff, and then my suitcase, it didn't go through. And I was wondering what's going on. No one said nothing. I spent 45 minutes there waiting for an answer. So one officer came in and he was telling me like, oh, right now we have an investigation because there's a company making Play-Dohs with bombs inside. And I was so scared, because never happened this to me before. The thing is, sometimes when I travel, it's not always like this. They don't check all your suitcase or they don't check your backpack like the way it has to be. So for citizens like us, I think we don't deserve those actions, like feel sometimes safety and another times not.
Wow, Ariel, I really appreciate you telling me that. Really appreciate you sharing that story. It's crazy. I actually remember the instance where they were making fake bombs inside the Play-Doh, and that did cause a lot. That did make national news at the time. But yeah, thank you so much. Right before I let her go, it sucks because she misses her flight. She has plans. TSA interferes, the airport interferes, and I'm not calling out the airport. But she had plans to go see her nephew's 2-year-old, and the fact that she couldn't make it because she missed her flight because of something that was out of her control, that's what's messed up about it. Anyways, thank you so much, Ariel. Hopefully hear back from you soon. I'm gonna go back to a topic that I mentioned earlier about the inconsistency of TSA, something actually Ariel touched on herself when she was on, saying that, sometimes they check, sometimes they don't. That doesn't mean sometimes they check, sometimes they don't. It means sometimes they check the way they should, and sometimes they check the way they don't. Myself, I've been through some screening. Sometimes the officer would say, "Okay, hey, let me see your hoodie." Okay, most of the time I go in, I'm wearing a sweater, and sometimes they check the hoodie, sometimes not. Sometimes they pat down, sometimes not. Obviously, it depends on that new machine that they got in there, where you have your hands up, your legs spread out, and you're basically stand still for about a second or two while the thing spins around. But overall, I mean, TSA, airport security, all of this, it's crazy. We live in a day and age where everything has to be checked. You go to baseball games, you go to any sporting event, really. You go to somewhere public. You can't bring bags to concerts now. None of this now because of obviously safety. Don't want to mention the G word, but it's scary. It's scary nowadays. We live in a day and age where anything can happen any day and it can change someone's life forever. So we have to be careful. I understand people are doing their job, but yeah, airport safety, there you have it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a nice day.